Welcome to the first video of a brand new series that I'm calling Resin Nature. The name still needs work, but in today's video, I am bringing a small part of Morocco back to London. So 3D printing isn't exactly new anymore. Everyone has been printing everything and it's awesome, it's amazing. My brother has printed so many things for me that I've used in my art. But recently I have been intrigued with 3D scanning. People have been using these scanning devices and scanning like everyday objects, right from things like bananas to even people and their faces. And I am intrigued. So when 3D Maker Pro collabed with me, I instantly knew there had to be resin involved, and this is when this series was born. The idea is for me to capture and scan nature and its textures, maybe an object, and then preserve it in resin. It'll make more sense as we get started with this series. So for now, let me tell you all about where this first episode took me. So this series is now filmed from Morocco. My brother and I have planned this sibling trip for ages now, and honestly, I could not think of a better place to kick off this Resin Nature series, because obviously the whole point of this series for me is to preserve little pieces of nature in resin. So what better memory to preserve than one from this trip? That brings me to our 3D Maker Pro scanner, the thing that is going to make all of this possible. First things first, let's get it unboxed. And yes, I am going to try one of those serious, very satisfying ASMR unboxings for you guys. Now, the big question is, what on earth was I going to scan in Morocco? It is full of inspiration. It is a sensory overload. It is so colorful, vibrant, these incredible streets and colorful souks. I mean, everywhere I looked, something was catching my eye. I'm not even kidding. For a solid 5 minutes, I was completely convinced that I wanted to scan this Aladdin style lamp because I was just emotionally committed. But then I remembered that the series is Resin and Nature and not resin and random things I thought looked cool. So as much as that hurt, I let that idea go and I decided to not force it. I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow and I'm sure inspiration will find me. And on this trip, we did such fun things. We went on a desert safari with riding our quad bikes and feeling very cool. We went on a hot air balloon ride. We tried some pottery. That was a lot of fun. And finally, we arrived at the Ourika Valley. Now, this place is honestly magical. It's this beautiful river flowing through the valley, and there's all of these little traditional restaurants built right alongside the water, and people are just sitting there with their feet in the river, just slowing down and enjoying the moment. We ended up spending most of the day here because neither of us wanted to leave. It was so peaceful and so stunning. And that's when I knew it. I knew that what I wanted to preserve was being here, being in this moment, being in this valley. It wasn't just the rocks, it wasn't just the water, it was the feeling of this place that I wanted to bring back home. Luckily, my 3D Maker Pro scanner was so portable, as you saw from the unboxing. I had been carrying it around all day with me, so this was perfect because I knew what I wanted to do. I have picked out a few river smaller rocks and decided, instead of taking them home with me, because could you imagine the excess baggage carrying giant rocks back home, I had a scanner that I could scan the valley rocks. I could 3D print them, make molds, and then make resin rocks. You guys, I cannot think of a better way to preserve this memory without actually taking away anything from the valley itself. Now, I'm going to be honest, I was actually a little bit intimidated by this whole 3D scanning process. Like, my brother already does a fair bit of 3D printing, so I figured like he'll be the expert here and I'll just like quietly stand there pretending that I knew what I was doing. But turns out I had absolutely nothing to worry about. Like, I'm not even kidding. The scanner was ridiculously easy to use. Like, within minutes, I was happily scanning rocks all by myself, and I genuinely cannot believe how straightforward it is. Like, it looks intimidating, it sounds intimidating, but it really is. Like, if I can do it, I feel like anyone can. The setup was literally so easy as well. So the Toucan scanner is basically an all-in-one scanner. So you're not tethered to a laptop trying to balance cables while standing in the middle of the river, in my case. Everything happens right on the device, which makes scanning so much easier. It also has different scanning modes depending on what you're scanning, whether you're capturing something with a lot of tiny detail or if it's something a lot bigger. It can handle both. I am definitely going to link this scanner down for you guys in the description, so check it out, because honestly, I feel like this is just the beginning of art. Like, my brain has already planned out like 10 projects using this. Like, there's so many things in nature that now I want to scan and somehow preserve them in resin, make them in resin. Like, I genuinely feel this series could go a little bit out of hand at this point. But before I get carried away planning the next episode of this series, let's finish this one. Let's head back home and see what we've got. So I've got my digital files ready to be printed. They are looking absolutely stunning. I can see all the texture from the scans that we made. And after a wee bit of 3D printing, just like that, I have my rocks printed. It is so wild to actually see these. Like, these are rocks from the valley, like prints of them from the valley. Like, it's so wild, and I have them right here. Okay. Sorry, I just had to get excited there. It's very new to me. This whole 3D scanning is very new to me. Anyway, what I need to do now is make molds of these, and I think I'm gonna use alginite just because easier, cheaper, quicker. So that's what we're gonna do, but yay. Now, to make our molds, I just need to make a quick little housing. So I'm using this cardboard box and some scrap plastic I had just lying around, and then just laying it on top, mixing up some alginite. Now, this particular one that I have at hand is a fast setting kind, so there's absolutely no time to faff about. Like, I literally have to vigorously mix it, pour water in, shove it in, place the rock in, and hope for the best. Like, this stuff sets in like 3 business seconds, but it worked out fine. I have used it previously, so I'm kind of used to it now, so thankfully it will work fine. I will link it for you guys in the description as well. Now, once the first mold was done, I could pop the rock out, move on to the next one, and then it was pretty much like a rinse and repeat until we've kind of molded the whole rock collection, if you will. And then finally, it was time for some resin. And for this project, I'm using Let's Resin, who are also the lovely sponsors of today's video. So a massive thank you to them for making this project possible. They have recently updated their bubble removal machine, and considering I already have the original one, I was very curious to see how this version would perform. And one thing I really like about the updated machine is just like how hands-off it is. Like, you literally pop your resin in. Also, if you can see, I'm going with a large capacity in here, which it fits perfectly fine. And you just press one button and then you can carry on doing other bits, because it's gonna do its own thing. It's gonna degas itself. It's got a little display with a built-in timer, so you can see what's happening. And the best part, it removes up to 99% of those annoying little bubbles in just a few minutes, which is basically my resin getting a little spa treatment before I pour it, and I'm definitely not complaining about it. I mean, would you look at, like, do you see how crystal clear my resin is compared to when I first mixed it? I love this stuff. Thank you, Let's Resin. This works, and I'm so glad I'm not going to be having any bubbles in my rocks. Now, one by one, I filled our little rock molds molds with some resin. And color-wise, I wasn't really following a plan. I mean, I was just kind of like matching the vibes of my balcony. So we've got some blues, some warm amber tones, even a little black moment in there, just because why not? And I also decided to throw in a few acrylic rocks into a few of them, just because I like the way they kind of like fracture and catch the light through the resin, and basically just had a fun time pouring resin in our rock molds. And because this is YouTube, I can now magically unmold these straight away. And I was really hoping to get more than one cast out of our alginite molds, but unfortunately they are very much a one cast mold at this point. So I will have to probably make more molds, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm going to put that aside because right now I am just so obsessed with how these are looking. These do need a little wash, so I'm going to do a tiny bit of cleanup and show you what they look like. Okay, so I have the first batch of our resin rocks ready, and I have to show you. Oh my god, okay. Look at that. It's got all of that texture from the original rock, and it doesn't feel like resin, which is what I wanted. It feels organic. That's one. That's another one. I added some gold leaf to this one. Obsessed. Obsessed. Look at this one. I can't even. Like, can you see those like details of the actual rock that the scanner got us? The divots, I can't even. I'm obsessed. This is my favorite one. This is a large one. Gorgeous, stunning. This one has some of the acrylic rocks that we put in, and I think they do, like, you can't see them, but they catch the light, and that is so fun. Obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. I have to make some more of these, but I had to just come and show you guys. Yay. Okay, this is pretty much the stage of the project where I get overexcited and mess things up. So I'm gonna make some more.
The next day.
Okay, so I got this solar fountain kit from Amazon, and I'll just set it up here just to see if it works before I permanently do anything, and it works fine. Although when I do set up my stones, I might have to hook up this pipe situation, but other than that, it works fine. The panel is over here in that corner, which works perfectly because that gets sun, and I want the fountain to be in this corner, and the table runs through the back of my couch. So it's all good. I think it's all good. This is basically when I've just realized you guys don't even know what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I have made rocks because I'm trying to make a little mini water feature for the balcony, which is basically my little version of recreating my own waterfall Ourika Valley situation back here in my balcony in London. So I need a container. I had this one at home. It's a plastic situation, and it's obviously very plasticky. So I'm using some Stone Effects spray paint to give it a bit of a glow up. Now it's just a case of stacking up all our rocks together. But before I do that, I once again had to take a moment to admire all of our rock collection. Our resin rocks together. I mean, look at them. They are so gorgeous. I can't even. Now, I do want these to be slightly raised, so I just used some actual rocks and some random bits to just create some height. And then I started laying down our rocks. One of these had a little bit of a black resin leak in them, so it's a bit of an ugly duckling, but it's fine because we're going to use this at the bottom as a base and then build on top, so no one's going to see the ugly bit of the rock. No one's going to know. And for gluing these together, I have used some 2-part epoxy here, and after a fair bit of sticking and shuffling and unsticking and restacking, we have it. My own little water feature, but more importantly, my own little piece of the Ourika Valley. These resin rocks and the colors are looking stunning. They are glistening in the sun, and if you look at the background, I brought back some little treasures from Morocco. These cacti are from the pottery that I did back there. Also, this little tagine, I have put like a solar light in there so it glows stays up at night. And I feel like this whole little corner is like my Moroccan corner at this point, and I am not mad at it. I'm literally obsessed. Of course, Sky had to come over for his very official quality inspection. And while he's here, briefly, he wants to remind you to like, comment, sub, because his standards are incredibly high. So do all of those good things. Now, I'm going to shut up. I just want you to listen to the sounds and just the vibes. Just take it in. If you've enjoyed this first episode, let me know in the comments what next from nature we can preserve in resin. What else can I scan to make it a forever moment? I would love some ideas. I have a bazillion, but I know you guys are gonna give me a bazillion more. Throw them at me, honestly, like give it to me. And once again, thank you Let's Resin and 3D Maker Pro for making this project possible. So this little corner is my piece of the Ourika Valley, all the way from Morocco to my balcony in London. I'm obsessed. Every time the water trickles through, I'm reminded of our trip, and it's like a little corner of Morocco right here. Now, I absolutely love it, but I do feel that maybe this should be at a height, like it should be on a table of some sort. So should we build a table next? I feel like my balcony makeover keeps extending itself. It's like never ending. But let me know, do we need a table for this, or do you like it here on the floor? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this one. I have so enjoyed making this project, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye. If you've enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you will like these two, so go check them out.